Afternoon, all of you. I hope you all are doing well. And today we're going to study the medieval history, most important questions of Delhi Sultanate. This is the part 4 of the series. Okay, so let's start the session. So our first question, who of the following Rajput rulers gave donation for the reconstruction of a mosque? What is the answer? Very simple, right? We studied right already. Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is D. Jai Singh Siddharaja. So Raja Jai Singh Siddharaja, he was son of Karnadeva and ascended the throne in 1094 AD. And he gave shelter to the many scholars of different religion and caste. Irrespective of the religion and caste, he has given lot of shelters to the many scholars in his court. So this Rajput ruler gave the donation of 1 lakh balotras. Balotras are nothing but coins to rebuild the mosque in Cambridge. Okay, next question. In the Sultanate period, the highest rural authority for a land revenue was. What is the answer? In the Sultanate period, the highest rural authority for land revenue was. Be quick, guys. What is the answer? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is option C, Chaudhry. Okay, so this Chaudhry, it was the post. It was the highest rural authority for land revenue. Okay, so this Rawat, Malik, Patwari, Chaudhary, different revenue collectors. But here question what they are asking, the highest rural authority. Okay, so rural authority for land revenue was Chaudhary. Okay, next. The famous poet Amir Khusro was associated with the court of which ruler? The answer. The famous poet Amir Khusro was associated with the court of which ruler? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is B, Alauddin Khilji. It's very simple, right? Lot many times we have discussed about the Amir Khusro and Alauddin Khilji. But anyways, the famous poet Amir Khusro, he was associated with the court of Alauddin Khilji. So Amir Khusro wrote a short autobiographical Masanvi. It is called Shah Naim Mun. Okay, this is about the Alauddin's life story. And Khusro in his book Khazainunat Putula, okay, Khazainunat Putula, the Treasury of Victory, recorded the Alauddin's construction, works, wars, peace and security administrative services. Okay, so remember, poet Amir Khusro was very famous poet. I even told you that the title Parrot of India. So it also title of Amir Khusro, and he was there with the Alauddin Khilji's court. In fact, Amir Khusro existed for 7 Delhi Sultanates period. Okay, we're gonna see that next in the questions. But here you need to remember he is specifically associated with the Alauddin Khilji's court. He has written a lot of books about the Alauddin Khilji, like this autobiographical Masanvi called Shah Naam Mun. Then Khazain ul Puta. Okay, both are the books of Amir Khusro related to the Alauddin Khilji. Okay, next. Who was the last ruler of Jaunpur state? I repeat the question. Who was the last ruler of Jaunpur state? What is the answer? Try to give the answer, guys. Why you are quiet? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is B, Hussein Shah. Okay, Hussein Shah was the last ruler of Jaunpur state. So Hussein Shah, during the reign of Hussein Shah, that is in the 1456 to 76, the Jaunpur army was perhaps the biggest in India. Okay, so in fact, he was a very strong ruler. So during this period, between 1456 to 76, the Jaunpur army was the biggest in India. and Hussein decided to attempt a conquest of Delhi. Okay, so he was ruling in the Jaunpur. He decided to attempt a conquest of the Delhi. However, he was later defeated on three successive attempts of Bahlol Khan Lodi. Okay, he got defeated by the Bahlol Khan Lodi. And finally, under the Sikandar Lodi, Delhi Sultanate was able to conquer the Jainpur in 1493. Okay, so here you need to remember Hussein Shah was a very famous ruler of the Jaunpur state. In fact, he was the last ruler of the Jaunpur state. He had a very big army during the 1456 to 76 in India. He tried to, conquest the Delhi, but later by the Bahlol Khan Lodi and the Sikandar Lodi, he got defeated. So later on, what happened? Jaunpur state got annexed by the Delhi Sultanate. Okay, this is the story about Hussein Shah. Remember that. Next, who has been described by Eliot as Akbar of Sultanate? What is the answer? Who has been described by Eliot as the Akbar of Sultanate? To whom we call as Akbar of Sultanate? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is D, Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Okay, so this Eliot, famous historian, he described that Firoz Shah Tughlaq as the Akbar of Sultanate because see, Akbar qualities are very generous, right? He was a very famous ruler and very generous. So similar qualities are there with Firoz Shah Tughlaq also. So that's why Akbar of Sultanate becomes the Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Next, who among the following sultans was advised by Qazi Muhyiddin to act according to the laws of Shariat, but the sultan rejected his advice? Which ruler did that? Who among the following sultans was advised by the Qazi Mahmuddin to act according to the laws of Sharia, but the sultan rejected his advice? Which sultan did that? Any guesses? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is A, Alauddin Khilji. Okay, so Alauddin Khilji was advised by the Qazi Muhyiddin, okay, to act according to the laws of Sharia. So Sharia is nothing but it's a codified book, how to act, how should be the policies in the empire. So it is all consisted in the Sharia. So this Qazi Muhyiddin advised the Alauddin Khilji that you should act according to the Sharia law. So but Alauddin Khilji, what he did, he rejected his advices. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Next, Malik Kafur was the general of which king? What is the answer? Malik Kafur was the general of which ruler? Very simple, right? Malik Kafur. Let's see the answer. Answer is B, Alauddin Khilji. So Malik Kafur was the general of Alauddin Khilji. So behind the success of his war strategies, it was a slave called Malik Kafur. He discovered Malik Kafur during the conquest of Gujarat. Okay, in fact, Malik Kafur was the slave purchased by the Alauddin Khilji. Okay, so Malik Kafur was a very powerful slave, so that's why he became the general during the Alauddin Khilji's period. So Alauddin Khilji conquered lot parts of the India. In fact, northern part of the Indias were directly conquered by the Alauddin Khilji, and southern part of the India got conquered by the Malik Kafur, behalf of the Alauddin Khilji. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. And remember one thing, this Malik Kafur is also called as Hajar Dinari. Okay, so remember Hajar Dinari. Next, Muhammad bin Tughlaq shifted his capital from Delhi to which place? What is the answer? So many times we discussed this, right? He shifted his cattle from Delhi to which place? Let's see the answer. Answer is D, Daulatabad. So we have studied, right? This is lot many times I have discussed with you. So anyways, remember. So Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he shifted his cattle from Delhi to Daulatabad. It appears that the Sultan wanted to make this Daulatabad was the second capital. So that he might be able to control the South India better. See what was his question was. So initially the Delhi was capital. Okay, Delhi is there at the northern part of the India. So he thought if Delhi is the capital, Delhi is the only capital in fact, then he could not control the southern part of India. So that's why he shifted his capital from Delhi to Daulatabad. So after shifting the capital, again he thought being in the southern region, he could not control the northern portion of the India. Okay, so that is the dilemma which was there with the Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Okay, so it was a very successful thing he has done. So remember, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he was the very famous Delhi Sultanate. He shifted the capital from Delhi to Daulatabad. Okay, next. Who was the Muslim general to have conquered the Bengal in 13th century AD? Who conquered the Bengal in 13th century AD? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is D. Ikhtiar Uddin Bakhtiar Khilji. Okay, so remember his name. Persian names are very hard to pronounce. So remember, the Muslim general who conquered the Bengal in 13th century AD was Ikhtiar Uddin Bakhtiar Khilji. Okay, so this general conquered the Bengal in 13th century AD. Next. Which of the following sultans of Delhi was known as Lak Baksh? It's a very important question. You need to remember this at any cost. So which of the following sultans of Delhi was known as Lak Baksh? What is the answer? Lak Baksh is a title. Okay. Who had that title? Which sultan? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is A. Qutbuddin Aibak. So Qutbuddin Aibak, Sultan of Delhi, he was also known as Lak Baksh. Why he called as Lak Baksh? Because he was a very generous ruler and he denoted the large sums of money as the donation for the people. So that's why he is known as Lak Baksh. So remember Qutbuddin Aibak. Okay. Next. Who among the following witnessed the reign of seven sultans of Delhi? Just now I told you, right? What is the answer? Who among the following witnessed the reign of seven sultans of Delhi? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is C. Amir Khusro. So I told you right in the previous questions that Amir Khusro is specifically with the court of Alauddin Khilji. But Amir Khusro also witnessed the reign of seven sultans of Delhi. So Khusro was a prolific classical poet associated with the royal courts of more than seven rulers of the Delhi Sultanate. Okay, remember Amir Khusro, parrot of India. Okay, next. Jain ul Abdin, who prohibited cow slaughter, was a ruler of which region? Jain ul Abdin, who prohibited cow slaughter, was a ruler of which region? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is D, Kashmir. So Jainul Abdin, who prohibited the cow slaughter, he was the ruler of Kashmir region. Jainul Abdin was very tolerant towards the Hindus and took into his service much more than deserved. Okay, his patronage and recognitions of merit to the Hindu people. He was a very generous, secular king. In fact, he was a Muslim ruler, but he has very tolerative, process towards the Hindus. So that's why he prohibited the cow slaughter in his kingdom. And the Sultan remitted the jizya poll tax and banned the killing of cows and granted the jagirs to the Hindus. In the most of the Sultanate's period, this Jagidari system was very much restricted to the Muslims only. They were not giving it to the Hindu people. So, but this Jain ul Abdin, who was the ruler of Kashmir, he granted jagirs to the Hindus also because he was very tolerated towards other religions. And he also celebrated the Hindu festivals and visited their tirthas with the great reverence. Okay, so he was a very generous king. Next, in the Delhi Sultanate, an administrative unit called Paragana was headed by an official known as, what is the answer? I repeat the question. In the Delhi Sultanate, an administrative unit called Paragana was headed by an official known as, okay, let's see the answer. Answer is A, Amil. Okay, so this Paragana was there. It was, administrative unit under the Delhi Sultanate. So this Paraganas were usually headed by the some officials. They were known as Amils. Okay, next. John Raja in his Rajatarangini continued the narration of Kalhana up to which ruler? What is the answer? Rajatarangini is a very famous book. Okay, what is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is C, Sultan Jainul Abdin. Okay, remember his name. Sultan Jainul Abdin. So Jona Raja in his Rajatarangini, he continued the narration of Kalhana up to the Sultan Jainul Abdin. So Rajatarangini, it is still a very famous book. So it was initially written by the Kalhana, and John Raja continued that work. Okay, narration of the stories of Kashmir kings. So he continued that narration up to the Sultan Jainul Abdin. Okay, next. The capital of Sharki dynasty was. What was the capital of Sharki? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is A, Jaunpur. Okay, the capital of Sharki dynasty was Jaunpur. The Khwaja-e-Jahan Malik Sarwar. Okay, remember the name? Khwaja-e-Jahan Malik Sarwar. He was the first ruler of this Sharki dynasty. Okay, he was a minister under the Sultan Nasiruddin Muhammad Shah Tughlaq. Okay, in 1394, he established himself as an independent ruler of Jaunpur and extended his authority over the Awadh region and a large part of Ganga Yamuna Doab region. Okay, remember, Sharki dynasty was there in the Jaunpur region. This Wazir, who was, acted as the Wazir under the Muhammad Shah Tughlaq's period, he became the ruler for Sharki dynasty. Okay, what was his name? Khwaja-e-Jahan Malik Sharwar. Remember the name? Khwaja-e-Jahan Malik Sharwar. Okay, next. Which of the following sultans measured the land for fixed revenue? Quotes are given. What is the answer? Which of the sultans measured the land for fixing the land revenue? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is C, 1, 2, and 3 only. Okay, so Alauddin Khilji, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, not Sikandar Lodi. Okay, so these three people, Alauddin Khilji, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, and Muhammad bin Tughlaq, these three sultans measured the land for fixing the land revenue. Okay, and there were different types of taxes in that empire you need to remember. So those are Kharaj e Jajia and Ghari and Charai. Okay, so Kharaj, Jajia, Charai and Ghari. So these are the four different taxes. They were there during the period of Alauddin Khilji, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq and Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Okay, so remember that these four important taxes. Okay, remember that. Next, which one of the following works of Amir Khusro deals with the military expedition of Alauddin Khilji? So what is the answer? We have discussed it just now. Which one of the following works of Amir Khusro deals with the military expedition of Alauddin Khilji? Let's see the answer. Answer is D, Khazain ul Futu. Okay, so Khazain ul Futu was the work of Amir Khusro. It deals with the military expedition of Alauddin Khilji. Next, who was called the Akbar of Kashmir? What is the answer? Who was called the Akbar of Kashmir? Let's see the answer. Answer is B, Jainul Abdin. So just now we discussed right about the Jainul Abdin. He was a very generous king of the Kashmir. So because of that, Jainul Abdin may be regarded as the Akbar of Kashmir. And he lacked the Mughals' natural genius, spirit of enterprise and physical vigor. And in fact, he was a very generous king. He was tolerated towards many other religions, not only Islam. Okay, next. Consider the following statements. Assertion and reasons are given. In assertion, Alauddin Khilji built the Siri fort. In reason, he wished to safeguard Delhi from Mongol invasions. Okay, so here quotes are given. You need to find out the correct answer using the quotes given below. What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is option A. Both assertion and reasons are true and R is the correct explanation of A. So Alauddin Khilji built the Siri port because he wished to safeguard the Delhi from Mongols invasion. Okay, so Mongol invasion was there during the Alauddin Khilji. Not only during the Alauddin Khilji, it was continuously there in different sultanates period. They were very threaters for the Delhi sultanates. So that's why Alauddin Khilji he built the Siri port in Delhi to safeguard the Delhi from Mongol invasion. Okay, so remember that. So that's why both the assertion and reasons are true and R is the correct explanation of A. So why he built this report? He built this report to safeguard the Delhi. Okay, so that's all. Next. Gita Govinda was written by. Who is the author of Gita Govinda? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is B, Jayadeva. So Jayadeva is most known for his composition, the epic poem Gita Govinda. It was written by Jayadeva. It depicts the divine love of Krishna and Radha. So this poem, which presents the view that Radha is greater than Hari. It means Radha is greater than the Krishna. Okay, so that is the important theme of Gita Govinda. So who written that? Remember his name, Jayadeva. Okay, next. Amir Khusro played a pioneer role in the development of. Amir Khusro played a pioneer role in the development of. What is the answer? So these are the languages. Okay, four different languages. Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is A, Khari Boli. So Amir Khusro played an important role in development of this Khari Boli language. Okay, next. Sugandha Devi, who issued coins with the figure of seated Lakshmi, was a queen of which region? Sugandha Devi, who issued coins with the figure of seated Lakshmi, was a queen of which region? Let's see the answer. Answer is B, Kashmir region. Okay, so here you can see the coins picture. You can see the seated Lakshmi figure on top of that. Okay, so these are the coins of Kashmir issued by the Sugandha Devi. Okay, so seated Lakshmi coins. So this Sugandha Devi queen belongs to the Kashmir region. Okay, next. Who is known as Parrot of India? I told you 1,000 times. Who is known as the Parrot of India? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is C, Amir Khusro. So Amir Khusro, it was he who himself called Tuti-e-Hind. So Tuti-e-Hind means Parrot of India. So in fact, Tuti-e-Hind means to speak the truth only. Okay, to speak the truth. So that's why he told, I'm an Indian parrot. Okay, Tuti-e-Hind. You need to remember that word also. Tuti-e-Hind. Who said that like that? Amir Khusro. Okay. Next, list 1 and list 2 are given. You need to match them. And codes are given. Al-Biruni, Hassan Nijami, Minhaj us Siraj, Amir Khusro. Okay, these are the different poets. In list 2, Tabaqat-e-Nasiri, Tajul Masir, Tariq-e-Hind, Tughlaq Nama. These are the books. You need to match them. What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is A, 3214. So Al-Biruni, he wrote the Tariq-e-Hind. So it means A should match with 3. Okay. So Al-Biruni written the Tariq-e-Hind. Next, Hassan Nijami. He wrote the Taj-ul-Masir. So that's why B should match with 2. Okay. So Hassan Nijami, Taj-ul-Masir. Next, Minaj us Siraj. He had written the Tabaqat-e-Nasiri. So C should match with 1. Next, Amir Khusro, Tughlaq Nama. Okay, so that's why A is correct. 3214 is the correct match. Again, match the following. List 1 and list 2 are given and codes are given. So in list 1, Amir Khusro, Ziauddin Barni, Ibn Battuta, Isami. So these are the famous poets. Here in list 2, Futuh us Salatin, Rehla, Ashika, Tariq-e-Firozshahi. What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is B. 3-4-2-1 is the correct match. So Amir Khusro, he had composed the Ashika. It's a very famous work of Amir Khusro. So that's why Amir Khusro written the Ashika. Next, Ziauddin Bardi, he composed the Tariq-e-Firozshahi. Next, Ibn Battuta, he was a traveler, I told you, right? Traveler of the Morocco. He composed the Rehla. And Isami, he composed the Putta uz Salati. So that's why B is correct answer. 3-4-2-1 is the correct match. Okay. Next. Again, list 1 and list 2 are given and codes are given. In list 1, different departments are given. So Diwan-e Mustaq Raj, Diwan-e Amir Kohi, Diwan-e Khairat, Diwan-e Waquf. In list 2, Jalaluddin Khilji, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Alauddin Khilji. So list 1, different names of the department. List 2, different rulers. So you need to match them. Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is A. 4-3-2-1 is the correct match. See, Diwan-e Mustaq Raj. In order to gain the information about the land and collect the revenue, so Alauddin Khilji, he started that department. Okay, so remember Diwan-e Mustaq Raj established by the Alauddin Khilji. So A should match with 4. Okay, so Diwan-e Mustaq Raj, Alauddin Khilji. Next is Diwan-e Amir Kohi. Lot many times we have discussed about this department, right? This is department related to the agriculture. Okay, it was established by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So B should match with 3. Okay, so 4 and 3 done. Next, Diwan-e Khairat. So this Diwan-e Khairat was developed by the Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Okay, so this Diwan-e Khairat is also known as Diwan-e Khairati. It was a department of charity trust. Next is Diwan-e Waqf. Okay, Diwan-e Waqf, it was an officer who looked into the papers of expenditure. Okay, so this system was put into the place by Jalaluddin Khilji. I hope this is clear to you. So that's why A is correct option. 4-3-2-1 is the correct match. Next, consider the following. So here you need to arrange them in the chronological order. Tughlaqabad Fort, Lodi Garden, Qutub Minar, Fatehpur Sikri. The correct chronological order in which they were built is. What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is B, 3-1-2-4. So it means Qutub Minar comes first. Okay, it is built first. So even though you don't know which one is first, you can think like this. See, Qutub Minar built by whom? Qutbuddin Aibak. Okay, so Qutbuddin Aibak was the founder of the Delhi Sultanate, right? Slave dynasty. So obviously that is the first dynasty in the Delhi Sultanate. So it should come first. It's supposed to come first. Like that you should think, even though you don't know the answer. Okay, so Qutub Minar. So next is Tughlaqabad Fort. And the third one is Lodi Garden. And fourth one is Fatehpur Sikri. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, so 3-1-2-4 is the correct answer. Next. Which of the following is correct? Statements are given. The minister during the Sultanate period were appointed and dismissed by the Khalifa. And second statement, the ministers during the Sultanate period were appointed and dismissed by the ulema. The minister during the Sultanate period were appointed and dismissed by Khaji. The minister during the Sultanate period were appointed and dismissed by Sultan. So what is the answer? What is correct in this? Who were appointing and dismissing the ministers during the Delhi Sultanate period? So that is the question. What is the answer? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is D. The ministers during the Sultanate period were appointed and dismissed by the Sultan itself, not by Khalifa, not by ulema, not even by the Qazi. So Sultan had the supreme power over the appointment and dismission of the ministers. Okay. So next, list 1 and list 2 are given. In list 1, Al-Biruni, Ainul Mulk, Amir Khusro, Fakre, Mudabir. In list 2, Tariq-e Fakhruddin, Khazain-ul-Futuh Multani, Isha-e Mahru, Tariq-e Hind. Okay, quotes are given. You need to match them. I know these Persian names are hard to pronounce. So you have to remember. You have to remember all of them. Let's see the answer. Answer is B, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So Al-Biruni, Tariq-e Hind, Anil, Anil-ul, Ainul Mulk. Okay. Ainul Mulk. So that is Isha-e Mahru. Insha-e Mahru. So next, Amir Khusro. This Khazain-ul-Futuh. Okay. Khazain-ul-Futuh Multani. So last one is Fakre Mudabbir. That is Tariq-e Fakhruddin. Okay, so this is the correct match. So B, 4, 3, 2, 1 is the correct match. Okay. Next, consider the following statements, assertion and reason. And you need to find out the correct answer using the codes given below. In assertion, Bahlol's theory was kingship is kinship. In reason, Bahlol respected Afghan tribal sentiments. What is the answer? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is A. Both assertion and reason are true, and R is the correct explanation of the A. See, Bahlol, he was the founder of Lodi dynasty, right? So that's why he believed in the theory of kingship is kinship. So, but the before Delhi Sultanate, previous Delhi Sultanate, other than the Bahlol Lodi, so they were the Turkish rulers. Okay, they were the Turkish rulers. So that's why they adopted the theory of kingship, which was similar to the theory of the Hindu monarchs. So that's why they had the faith in divine right theory of kingship, and they acted not only as the representative of the god on earth, but also the believed the absolute monarchy. Okay, so those Turkish rulers and even the Hindu rulers, they believed in the absolute monarchy system. It means king is the supreme. King is like the divine. So that is called as divine right theory, or you can say the simply kingship theory. So, but this Bahlol, he does not belongs to the uh, Turkish. Okay, he belongs to the Afghan. Okay, so that's why he believed in the kingship is kinship. So in fact, that Afghans, they did not regard the Sultan superior to his subject. They never regarded the king is superior to his subjects. So rather they believed that the king is the first among the equals. Okay, so this Bala Lodi, he never seated on the throne when nobles were there. Okay, so he seated on the carpet. So that is the simplicity of the this Lodi, because they believed that kingship is kinship. Kingship is not monarch. I hope you are getting my point. Okay, so that came from the Afghan theory itself. So that's why both assertion and reasons are true, and R is the correct explanation of the assertion A. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, next. Consider the following statements. Again, assertion and reason. You need to find correct answer using the codes. In assertion, Alauddin Khilji conquered the southern state but did not annex them. In reason, he wanted to expand his empire but not add to his responsibilities. So, what is the answer? It's very simple one. Use your common sense. Let's see the answer. Answer is D. A is false, but R is true. So why A is false? Because Alauddin Khilji, he conquered the southern states, but he didn't collaborate them. Okay, they are telling he did not annex them. Okay, he did not collaborate them because he wanted to expand his empire but not add to his responsibilities of them. Okay, so that's why reason is true here, but not assertion. Okay, so Alauddin Khilji was a strategist and a military commander who commanded the forces across the Indian subcontinent. Okay, Sultan Alauddin Khilji is also noted in history for being one of the few rulers in the world who have repeatedly defended his empire against the Mongol invasions. So here the annexation term is wrong. Okay, so he annexed them, but he did not collaborated them because he wanted to expand his empire but not add to his responsibilities of them. Okay, so A is false, R is true. Next, consider the following statements here. You need to find out which of these statements are correct. Alauddin Khilji stated himself as the second Alexander, that is Sikandar-e-Sani. Second, Jalaluddin Khilji was the first ruler of Delhi Sultanate to put forward the view that kingship should be based on the willing support of the government. Third, Iltutmish was the first sultan who requested and obtained letter of investiture from Khalifa. Fourth, the token currency tanka introduced by Muhammad bin Tughlaq was made of bronze. So what is the answer? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is D. All these statements are true. So Alauddin Khilji he styled himself as the second Alexander. So this we have discussed in the previous class also, right? The second Alexander of Delhi Sultanate is nothing but Alauddin Khilji. So it is another title of Sikandar-e-Sani. Sikandar-e-Sani means second Alexander. Okay. So next, Jalaluddin Khilji was the first ruler of Delhi Sultanate to put forward the view that kingship should be based on the willing support of the government. Okay, so government should support the king. So that who stated that for the first time? Jalaluddin Khilji. That is also true. So next, Iltutmish was the first sultan who requested and obtained letters of investiture from the Khalifa. Okay, that is also true. The fourth one, the token currency, Tanka introduced by Muhammad bin Tughlaq, it was made up of bronze. Okay, so this token currency, he made it equal to the silver coins, right? So that's why big issue happened during the Tughlaq's period. So that's why all the statements are true. Okay. Next, consider the following statements about Iltutmish. And you need to find out the correct answer using the codes given below. He was the first sovereign real ruler of the Sultanate of Delhi. He was the first Sultan of Delhi to issue regular currency and declare Delhi as the capital of his empire. He created the Turkish nobility called Turkan-e Chalisa. So what all statements are correct regarding the Iltutmish? Be quick, guys. Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is all. Okay, 1, 2, 3, all are correct. So look at here. He was the first sovereign real ruler of the Sultanate of Delhi. So before Iltutmish, who was there? Qutbuddin Aybak was there, right? Qutbuddin Aybak was there. Iltutmish was the son-in-law of Qutbuddin Aybak. So even though he was the founder of the Delhi Sultanate, we usually believe Iltutmish is the real founder of the Delhi Sultanate. So statement 1 is true. He was a sovereign real ruler, first sovereign real ruler. So next, he was the first Sultan of Delhi to issue the regular currency, that is Tanka and Jital we have discussed, right? So those currency and declared Delhi as the capital of his empire. That is also true. Next, third statement, he created the Turkish nobility called Turkan-i Chalisa. So Turkan-i Chalisa is nothing but the group of 40 people. Okay, so to help and to assist the Sultan during the decision making. Okay, policy making or whatever. So remember, all the statements regarding the Iltutmish is true. Next, list 1 and list 2 are given. Again, you need to match them and find out the correct answer using the codes given below. So in list 1, Muftis, Barid, Kotwal, Arj-e Mamle. List 2, intelligence of agents, expounder of law, minister of in charge of army, head of city administration. So what is the answer? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is C. 2143 is the correct match. Okay, so here muftis. So what are these muftis? Expounder of law. Okay, barid. Barid means intelligence of agents. Kotwal. Kotwal is head of city administration. Next, Arj-e Mamlik, that is minister of in charge of army. So that's why C is the correct option. 2143 is the correct match. Okay, next. Again, list 1 and list 2 are given. You need to match them using the codes given below. In list 1, Khazi ul Khujat, Mahatsib, Diwan-e-Khul, Mir Bakshi. List 2, Revenue, Army Organization, Custodian of Public Morals, Finance, Administration of Justice. So these are the different officers and different officers' work. Okay, department you can see. What is the correct answer here? Let's see the answer. Answer is C. 4321. Khazi ul Khuzat, Finance, Administration of Justice. Okay, whenever Khazi comes, you need to remember something related to the justice. Okay, it's Finance, Administration of Justice. Next, Muhatsib. So Muhatsib, he was the custodian of public morals. Okay, Muhatsib, custodian of public morals. Diwan-e-Khul. Diwan-e-Khul, he is army organization. Okay, it is army organization. Next, Mir Bakshi. Mir Bakshi is revenue department, head of the revenue department. Revenue and military. Okay, revenue and military department. I hope this is clear to you. Next, which one of the following was not a reason for Balban abandoning the policy of conquest and adopting the policy of consolidation? What is the reason for that? Which one of the following was not a reason for Balban abandoning the policy of conquest and adopting the policy of consolidation? What is the answer? Let's see. Let's see the answer. Answer is D. Weak nature. His weak nature was not a reason for Balban's abandoning the policy of conquest. Okay, so his weak nature is not the reason, because he conquested and adopted the theory of abandoning policy. Okay, so he banned the abandoning policy, but he adopted the policy of consolidation. So what were the reason? One is threat of external invasion. So I told you Mongol invasion was there. Not only Mongol, different foreign invaders were there. That is the external threat. Second one is internal revolts. Obviously, Hindu rulers and Rajput rulers, those Hindu Rajput rulers, they were revolted against him. Not only them, lot of the superior officials in the Balban region or Balban Empire, they revolted against them. So that is also one of the reasons. Next, Indian kings willing to throw of the Turkish rule, obviously, right? Because they were the Muslim rulers. So they were the Muslim rulers, Turkish rulers. So other Hindu rulers, they were willing to throw off the Turkish rulers out of the India. So these ABC were the true reason for the Balban abandoning the policy of conquest and adopting the policy of consolidation. But no, which one is not the reason they are asking? That is, he is a weak nature. That is not the reason. He was very strong ruler. Okay, in fact, he was very strong ruler. So that's why D is correct. Okay, next. Arrange the following programs of Muhammad bin Tughlaq in their chronological order. Quotes are given. Transfer of capital, increase of taxation in Doha, promulgation of token currency, Khorasan expedition. So you need to arrange these events in the chronological order. What is the answer? So let's see the answer. Answer is C. 2, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 4. Okay, 2, 3, 1 and 4. So it means increase of the taxation in Doab region. Okay, that comes first. That event happened first, earlier. So next one is promulgation of token currency. And third one is transfer of capital from Delhi to Tughlaqabad. Okay. And last one is Khorasan expedition. So these are the chronological events. So 2, 3, 1, 4. I repeat once again. Increase of taxation in Doab region, that happened first. So second thing is promulgation of token currency, that is promulgating the token currency of the bronze equal to the silver currency. So that happened next. Third one is transfer of capital from Delhi to Dolatabad. So fourth one is Khorasan expedition. Okay, 2, 3, 1 and 4. So consider the following statements about the Qutub Minar, and you need to find out what all true about the Qutub Minar. Its radius decreases after each story. It is a 5-storied structure. It was completed by Iltutmish. It has characteristics of both Hindu and Islamic architecture. Quotes are given. What is the correct answer regarding the Qutub Minar? Answer is D. All are correct. So you can see the picture. Okay, so this is the Qutub Minar. Okay, so first statement, see what it is telling. Its radius decreases after each story. So look at the picture now. What do you think about it? Whether it is radius is increasing or decreasing? What do you think about it? So obviously, right, it is radius is decreasing after the each and every story. So one is true. It is a 5-story structure. Look at the picture. How many stories you can see in this? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, it is a 5-story structure. It is true. Next, it was completed by Iltutmish. Okay, first 3 stories, Qutub Minar was, done by Iltutmish only. Even though it was founded by the Qutbuddin Aibak, it was completed by the Iltutmish. Later, so many kings came and they repaired it. In fact, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, he built the last 4th and 5th story also. Okay, so first it was there only up to the 3rd story. It was completed by Iltutmish. Okay, so that's why 3 is right. Next, 4th one, it has characteristics of both Hindu and Islamic architecture. Okay, so it has both the characteristics of Hindu and Islamic architecture in that. Okay, a lot of the Hindu temples, pillars and everything is there in the Qutub Minar. So that's why 1, 2, 3, 4 all are correct regarding the Qutub Minar. Next, match the following. Balban, Alauddin Khilji, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Here, the imposed jizya, Sondar loans, Shizda and Firoz Tughlaq. Next, Sarai-e Adil. Codes are given. So what is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is C, 3, 4, 2, 1. Okay, so 3, 4, 2, 1 is the correct match. So let's see the Balban. So Balban, Shizda and Firoz. Okay, Shizda and Firoz Tughlaq. Next, Alauddin Khilji. It is Sarai-e Adil. Next, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Sondar loans. These Sondar loans are the loans given to the farmers. Okay. Next, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, that is reimpose the jizya on the Hindus. Okay. So that's why C is correct. Next, read the following statements carefully and answer the questions accordingly. That is assertion and reason. Assertion, Sikandar Lodi reimposed the jizya on the Hindus. Reason, Sikandar Lodi was an orthodox and a bigoted king. So what is true about this question? Let's see the answer. Answer is A. So both assertion and reason are true and R correctly explains the assertion. See, Sikandar Lodi reimposed the jizya on the Hindus. He did so because he was very orthodox person. Okay, jizya is a tax. Okay, it is on the basically non-Muslim people. So non-Muslim means obviously Hindus and other people. Okay, Sikandar Lodi he reimposed the jizya on the Hindus. So one time what happened, he executed a one Brahmana person who stated that both Hindu and Muslim scriptures are sacred. So that Brahmana told only that Hindu Muslim both scriptures were sacred. But this Sikandar Lodi, he executed him because of that. Okay. Next, Sikandar Lodi was an orthodox and a bigoted king. So that's why he is doing also, right? See, he was very much according to the Shariat law. So he was very orthodox. So that's why assertion, reason, both are true, and R is the correct explanation of the assertion. Okay, so in fact, you know that in the previous class we have studied, he destroyed one Hindu temple that was there in the Nagarkot. It is known as Jwalamukhi temple, right? So it was destroyed by the Sikandar Lodi itself because he was not tolerant towards other religions. Okay, next, consider the following statements about Alauddin Khilji's market policy. Quotes are given here. He placed markets under the control of high officers called Sahana for strictly controlling the shopkeepers and prices. Second, in order to ensure a regular supply of cheap food grains, he ordered the land revenue from Doab region to be paid directly to the state. What is the correct answer here? Let's see the answer. Answer is both. Okay, both 1 and 2 are correct. He placed the market under the control of high officers called as Sahana. Okay, so Sahanas were the officers' name. So why he made that Sahanas? Because to strictly control the shopkeepers and prices of the goods. That is true. Next is in order to ensure a regular supply of cheap food grains. Supply of cheap good food grains are very important because during the Alauddin Khilji he had witnessed the inflation, right? So we have discussed in the previous class. So that's why in order to ensure a regular supply of cheap food grains, he ordered the land revenue from the Doab region to be paid directly to the state, not through any middleman. So that's why both the statements are true regarding the Alauddin Khilji's market policy. Next, which crops were not cultivated in India during the Sultanate period? Words are given. So what is the answer? Which crops were not cultivated in India during the Sultanate period? Let's see the answer. Answer is C, 1 and 4. That is potato and maize. Potato and maize were not cultivated in India during the Sultanate period. Barley, sesame, they were there. Okay, potato and maize was not there. Next, assertion and reason again. Promotion of agriculture was the greatest achievement of Firoz Shah Tughlaq Rai. In reason, Iktas were assigned on hereditary basis to the military and civil officers during the Firoz Shah reign. What is the correct answer? You need to find out using the codes given below. Let's see the answer. Answer is A. So both assertion and reasons are true and R. See, answer is B. Both A and R are true, but not R is not correct explanation of A. You can, if you read the two statement, you will understand some interlinkages here. There is no interlinkage. See, in assertion, what they are telling, promotion of agriculture was the greatest achievement of Firoz Shah Tughlaq Rai. It is true. Okay, because he has built a lot of canals, right? We have discussed in the previous class. It is true. In reason, what they are telling, Iktas were assigned on hereditary basis to the military and civil officers during the Firoz Shah reign. That is also true. Okay, so in fact, he did lot of things for the development of agriculture, but assigning this Iktas to the hereditary basis will not support the agriculture. So that's why these two are contradictory. So in fact, both assertion and reasons are true, but reason is not correct explanation of A. In fact, it is contradictory with assertion. Okay, so that's why both assertion and reason are true. R is not explanation of A. So remember here, B is the answer. Okay, next. Read the following statements carefully and answer the questions accordingly. In assertion, Muhammad bin Tughlaq wanted to punish the peasants. Reason, Muhammad bin Tughlaq raised the tax in Doab region. What is the answer? What do you think? What could be the answer here? Let's see the answer. Answer is D. A is false, but R is true. So why A is false? You can see here. What they are telling. Muhammad bin Tughlaq wanted to punish the peasants. Why you wanted to punish the peasants? Peasants are very, very basic unit of economy. Why he want to punish peasants? In fact, he did a lot of things for agriculture sector, right? So assertion is false. Look at the reason. Muhammad bin Tughlaq raised the tax in the Doab region. So that we have discussed already. So that is true. Okay. So but Muhammad bin Tughlaq he wanted to punish the people of Delhi, not the peasants, not specifically the peasants. Okay. So here D is the correct answer. A is false, R is true. Next. The Rehla was written in. What is the answer? Rehla. It was a book, right? It was written in which language? Let's see the answer. Answer is A. See, Rehla, it was written in the Arabic language in the 14th century by Ibn Battuta. Ibn Battuta, he belongs to 1304 to 1377. So nearly 14th century. He was a Muslim scholar and traveler. He was born in Morocco. The book Rehla is the account of his traveling throughout his life. Okay, in different countries. He has written in the Arabic language. He has written that Rehla in the Arabic language. Okay, next. Assertion and reason again. Amir Khusro for the first time mentions Jawhar in his work. Reason, Rani Padmini of Chittor committed Jawhar to save herself from disgrace. So what is the answer? You need to find the correct answer using the codes given below. Let's see the answer. Answer is C. A is true, but R is false. Okay. So in assertion, what they are telling, Amir Khusro for the first time mentioned Juhar in his work. Obviously true. Okay, he first time he mentioned the practice of Jauhar in his work. So Jauhar means, it's like dyeing. You can see in the picture of what is that? Padmavat. Okay, so that is Jauhar. So Amir Khusro for the first time mentioned the Jauhar in his work. That is true. Next reason, Rani Padmini of Chittor committed Jauhar to save herself from disgrace. So not only save herself from the disgrace, it is to save all the mass people. Okay, whatever the women were there in her kingdom. So to save all of them from the disgrace, he committed the Jauhar. So that's why R is false. Okay, not only from herself, it is for all the people. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. That's why A is true, but R is false. Next. Read the following statements carefully and answer the questions accordingly. Again, assertion and reason. Firoz Tughlaq prohibited Muslim women from worshipping at the graves of saints. Reason. Firoz Tughlaq persecuted a number of Muslim sects which were considered heretical by the theologians. What is the answer? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is B. Both A and R are true, but R does not explain the A. Firoz Shah Tughlaq was the first ruler to forbid women from worshipping at the graves of the saints. So why he did so? Because this prohibition was due to his belief that the Sharia did not prescribe the outdoor movement of the women or not. Okay, so he obeyed the Sharia law. That's why he made such rule. What rule? Prohibition of Muslim women from worshipping at the graves of saints. In reason is true. What is telling? Firoz Tughlaq persecuted a number of Muslim sects which were considered heretical by the theologians. So that is true, but it does not explain the assertion. So I told you what is the reason for the prohibition of Muslim women from worshipping at the graves of the saint. So why he did so? Because he obeyed the Sharia law. Okay, so that's why A and R independently true, but R is not correct explanation of the E. Okay, next. List 1 and list 2 are given. In list 1, Alauddin Khilji, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, Sikandar Lodi. In list 2, Agra, Siri Fort, Tughlaqabad, and Hisar. Forts are given. You need to match them. What is the answer? Let's see the answer. Answer is C. 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay. So Alauddin Khilji, he built the Siri Fort. Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, he built the Tughlaqabad. Firoz Shah Tughlaq, he built the Hisar. Sikandar Lodi, he built the Agra. So that's why C is correct. 2, 3, 4, 1 is the correct match. Again, assertion and reason. In assertion, Muhammad bin Tughlaq changed the capital from Delhi to Devgiri. Reason, Muhammad Tughlaq needed a place from where he could control the southern provinces better and which was more centrally located than Delhi. Both are given. What is the answer? Okay, let's see the answer. Answer is A. Both assertion and reason are true. R correctly explains the A. So Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he changed the capital from Delhi to Devgiri. Why he did so? Because reason what it is telling, Muhammad bin Tughlaq needed a place from where he could control the southern provinces better and which was more centrally located than Delhi. Okay, both are true. R is the correct explanation of E. Okay. So in this topic, we learned most important questions regarding the Delhi Sultanate, part 4. If you have any doubts regarding this, let me know in the comment section. Any doubts? And solve all the test results given in the edunapti.com. Okay, guys, I assume there are no doubts. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next class.